Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another podcast with NECKROOTS. I'm Kid James.
Austin Davis.
And you know what? We're here to talk about how to pull out of the procrastination station, because that is no destination, right?
Yeah, dude, that's not a station we want to be staying in too long, right?
No,
So,
no.
in thinking about procrastination, right, really essentially, Kit, what this is putting off or delaying an important task, or maybe something that we're not really motivated to do.
Right.
Putting that off and then doing other things that are less important, right? And I think, I do this for myself sometimes. In fact, looking into this, I saw a statistic that said 95% of people procrastinate to some degree, right? So Neck Nation, that includes you, that's us too, right? And
it's us for sure.
Yeah, it's us for sure. And some of the ways, like, let's say I've got something important I got to do for work, or maybe somebody out there, Neck Nation, you're going through school or whatever it is that you're doing, you got a report or something you got to write, and you sit down to do the task.
Right.
And you're like, you know what, before I do this, let me just go check my Facebook real quick, or let me scroll through my Instagram, see what's going on. Or maybe you sit down and you're like, you know what, before I do this, I'm going to check out and just catch up on some of my YouTube channels that I watch, right? I'd like to see just the content will get me loosened up and get me ready to do this. And then then before you know it, you're like, oh, you know what, before I do this, why don't I just get up and go make a cup of coffee or grab a Monster Energy drink real quick. And then before you know it, dude, you sat down a couple hours ago to do this project or this report, whatever it is, and you've gotten nowhere.
Yeah.
Dude, you've just put it off because you just really don't want to do it, right? And I do this all the time. I don't know if I'm a chronic procrastinator, but I definitely procrastinate.
I think it's human nature. Every single one of us procrastinates something. As much as you want to wear the badge of honor that you don't procrastinate, because, bro, I'll put that badge on every once in a while when I'm talking to the kids, right?
Sure, yeah.
But
right.
I'll take it off when I don't want to, right? Or I'll tell my wife, I'll say, babe, I'm going to make you a shirt tomorrow. And she'll say, for what? What's it going to say? Is it going to be cool? I'm like, yeah, it's going to say Procrastinators Unite. And on the back, it's going to say, let's meet tomorrow.
Let's meet tomorrow.
Right?
That's great.
And I give her a hard time, but man, I feel bad really, because powering through things makes you feel so good. Doing the things that you maybe otherwise would have put off, years ago. Yeah. And you figured out how to say, hey, man, I'm just going to power through. I'm going to head down, tail up. I'm going to knock this out because I know what it does for my self-confidence. I know to check the box. Yeah. And anyways, I feel bad because you automatically you deem a procrastinator as lazy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. In fact, sometimes I feel that way, right?
Yeah, well, you do.
Yeah.
I think we do. And then we get harder on ourselves. You say they're lazy. And then whoever's listening, they're like, well, frick, yeah, dude, if you procrastinate, you're lazy, mentally, physically, whatever. Yeah. Right? The truth is that's not true.
No, it's not.
People procrastinate for a lot of reasons. Yeah. Right? And some of them are mental, emotional. They do it to avoid negative feelings of any sort. Yeah. And I fall into that category where I procrastinate because I feel like I'm Captain America and I can do more than I can really do, right?
Oh, sure.
And I'm just like, yeah, no problem. Put me on the schedule. Got it. And then I start looking at my schedule and go, frick, dude, how am I going to do this? Yeah. Right? Yep. There's not enough hours in the day. So guess what? Then you start prioritizing and powering through all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, the things that aren't as high on the list of the priority chart, they get procrastinated.
Yeah, they fall off, dude.
Right?
Yep.
Does it mean I'm a procrastinator? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
That doesn't mean you're lazy? No.
Right. So
yeah. And one of the other things too that causes procrastination is fear, right?
Yeah.
We talked about failure. People are so adverse to failure, and maybe it's you don't want to fail at something, right? Yeah. You got this thing you got to do, and you're like, gosh, dude, I just don't know if that's going to work out the way I want it to. Right. So I'm going to avoid it at all costs. I'm just going to put it off, dude, because it's too unknown. I don't want to fail. Right.
Yeah. And the unknown is scary, right?
Oh, big time.
But I think it just goes back to the adage of nothing grows in your comfort zone. It's like you got to keep pushing yourself, and you got to keep motoring forward, because you don't know what you don't know. And the funny thing is that it reminds me of just judging different people, right? Yeah. You'll look at somebody and if we put two different opposite people right here in front of us, and one's looks a little rough, right? And maybe hasn't showered for a week or whatever, and one's polished, right? And he's suited and booted, and you say, which ones do you think is going to accomplish this task the bestest?
Yeah.
Well, based on looking at him, you're going to go, hey, suited and booted.
Suited guy. Yeah.
Because he got up and got all square this morning.
Yeah.
But you don't know. And what I've learned over life and living is the ones you think won't will, and the ones you think will won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's some truth to that for sure.
And it's like, I had a kid over here the other day at the ranch, and he's like, I've got this mentor, and she's teaching me this, and she's teaching me that, and I'm learning how to do business acquisitions, and can you add anything? And I'm like, well, what are your talents? What do you got?
Yeah.
Right? And he's wishing he didn't. That's one salesman wishing he didn't knock on my door.
Knock on your door, dude.
It was so funny because I answered the door and I'm sweating. I got my hat in my hand, you know what I mean? And I got my hat in my hand. My sunglasses are all foggy because I was out building something. And I was holding my son's boots and his cowboy hat in my other hand. And I kind of pulled the door open. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was one of the neighbor kids or something, right?
Sure.
And so I opened the door and he's like, are you the owner of the house? I said, I don't own nothing. And I'm sweating, right? Yeah. And he looks at my boots that I'm wearing. He looks at the boots in my hands and looks at the cowboy hat and he goes, okay, I'm selling pest control. I said, yeah, we pay someone monthly to come and spray some liquid and then the bugs show up. But yeah no, it's cool. You'll have to talk to my wife. And he goes, okay, do you know who it is? And I'm like, who's what? Who's your service with? And I'm like, bro, I told you, I don't own nothing. I don't know nothing. And he goes, you really don't want to talk to a salesman right now, do you? I said, frick, no, I don't. And he goes, you don't want me to be here. I said, no, do you want me to count to 3? And he's like, I go, let me. And so anyway, I apologized and said, sorry, bro,
Yeah.
And I said, I could tell you're cool. I go, you know what, where are you from? You're Neck. And he's from a small town.
Nice, dude.
And
Nice.
he goes, how could you tell? I go, you know what, I can read the animal for a living.
Yeah.
I said, you can't sell a salesman.
Yeah, no.
Right?
And you're the best, dude, so.
Anyways, I invited him in to, got him some water, and he was hot or whatever from banging around knocking doors. And what's interesting is it was an opportunity for me to learn the numbers in that business because I want to know.
Yeah.
Right? I tore the dude's head off, then I apologized, and I'm like, sit down. I want to know the numbers in the bug man world, right?
No joke.
And so I'm sitting there freaking grilling this poor kid. And then it comes out that he has a mentor and this and that. And I said, that's awesome. What are you learning? So he's learning all these things about how to do this and how to do that. And I'm like, what are your talents? Right? And it's like, the message was, take what you can from other people and learn from it. Yeah. Success leaves clues and so does failure. So take those clues, but we're all individuals, right? So some of us are going to procrastinate differently. Some of us are going to, I should have this or I could have that, right? Yeah. Differently over different things. But we all have different talents, strengths, and weaknesses. So I think realizing that helps us figure out how to power through some of these challenging things that we, and they might not be physically or mentally challenging. They might just be the fear of rejection or the fear of I won't do it good enough or the fear of I don't have enough knowledge or information to perform this task.
Right. Yep.
Well, the fear's not going away. It's only going to grow larger, right?
Yeah, the longer you put it off. In fact, there's a cycle to this procrastination, which is, you procrastinate and then it gets down to the 11th hour and now you're filled with anxiety, right? Yeah. You're pounding, you're going crazy trying to get whatever it is you got to get done, right? In the deadline or in the time that it's supposed to be done. And you got all this anxiety and then it gets overwhelming, right? And maybe you don't finish it. And now you're depressed, right? You fall into a depression because of your procrastination. You're like, man, I failed. I didn't get it done. It's not that you failed because you tried and it didn't work out. It's you failed because you procrastinated. It's a decision that you made. So now you're depressed. And when you're depressed, you continue to procrastinate, right? And it's a vicious cycle. I mean, you get down on yourselves and it's so hard, once you're in that cycle of chronic procrastination, right, to get out of that. Yeah. And there are a few things, right? I mean, it's just like anything in life. It's anything worth doing is hard, right? Sure. And so to get out of the procrastination cycle is just, you've created a bad habit. You got to uncreate the habit. So you got to start, you got to change it up, right? Yeah. Just take it day by day and decide, okay, I'm going to stop procrastinating. Today I'm going to pick something that I don't want to do and I'm just going to go do it. and get it done, right? And then you create this new habit of not procrastinating, and so, but it's a vicious cycle, man, and you can get depressed as ever, through this procrastination. So,
and you know what's interesting with what you said too is as you procrastinate, it gets heavier and heavier. It's like putting right. You put it off, you're putting weight in your wagon, right? Yeah. It gets harder and harder to push or pull, man.
Yep.
And I think doing something that you're not fully prepared for, because I don't think we're ever 100% prepared for anything. I don't care if it's a wrestling match. I don't care if it's a new job interview, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
They're going to throw something at you, a curveball, whatever. Life's going to throw it at you. So we can't see around the corner. We can only prepare. And the way we prepare is through failures, experiences, and those type of opportunities. But the interesting thing about that is it's almost better to not be fully prepared, but still do the task, right? And fail at it maybe, than it is to procrastinate it.
Yeah, and fail because of your own decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Or lack of the decision.
Lack of decision,
Yeah, I mean, it's still a decision, right? You decide not to do it. You still have to deal with it.
Yep.
You don't put crap back in that horse.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean?
Nope, you don't.
No matter what, whether it's you didn't do it or you did it and failed. But at least if you did it and failed, number one, you tried. Number two, you sent it. You feel good for sending it.
Yeah.
Right? And number three, you learn from it.
You learn. Yeah. You go back and try again.
Yeah.
Maybe this next time you know what not to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I have a little bit more sympathy for some of those closest to me that deal with procrastination, because, bro, I've railed them a little bit harder than I should have. And me, I'll put off something if it's not fun, or if it's not this, or if it's not that, or if it's not challenging. And so I fall into the category. I was taking the test and reviewing it and looking at different types of procrastination. And I'm the dreamer. Well, people closest to me that know me be like, yeah, right?
For sure.
And it's like, but I don't look at it as a dreamer. I look at it as if I have the vision, if I can see something, I can build it.
Yeah.
Right? If I can see it in my mind and feel it in my heart, I can build it. No matter what it is. But it's one of those things too that a dreamer will take on too much.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, and end up, something's got to give.
Yep.
Right? Or you have so much pressure, and me, I've said it 100 times, well, I perform better under pressure. I'm like Jim Brown, give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
But that's not always right either, right? Because I might not be prepared for that play. I'll just be running aimlessly, and I might be running the wrong way, right?
No kidding.
So I fall into that category. So there's all kinds of different categories: anxiety, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not knowing enough, all these different things. And I definitely, it doesn't matter what category you fall into, every single one of us deals with procrastination.
Yeah. Yep. We all do. And that's, what you said, it kind of rang true for me a little bit too, which is, putting things off because you weren't good under pressure, right? Sometimes that pressure drives me or motivates me to get something done. It's like, oh, okay, I've only got a limited time, so I need to get it done. But then think about your outcome or your product, right?
Yeah.
Does it suffer because you procrastinated? Even if you work better under pressure, better means like able to get something done, not able to produce something of quality, right?
Yeah.
And so does the quality suffer because you procrastinated? And does that poor quality reflect your character, right? Is that who you are? Are you the guy who does something quick but not very good quality, or are you the guy who does something and starts on it as soon as you can, and then your end product is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a reflection of who you are. And I think most of us would say, we've got a lot of value, we've got a lot of add to, other people's lives in this world.
Yeah.
And our end product should reflect that, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to stop procrastinating. But Kit, you said something a little bit earlier that I think deserves a little more discussion.
Okay.
And you brought up, and you've said this on a podcast, I think once before, but this idea of could have and should have all over yourself.
Yeah.
Right. All of us at some point have said, man, I should have done this, or I could have done this. And as I think about that, these could haves and should haves were opportunities, right? They were opportunities to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in time, we took the time to consider that opportunity, right?
Right.
And we decided not to do it. And then later on, we regretted it, right? I could have done this, or I should have done that, right? And regardless if it's a great, I missed out on this and I should have done that, it was such a great opportunity. Well, it doesn't have to be a great opportunity that we missed out on, right? And this is the same as procrastination, right? You're missing out on opportunities if you procrastinate,
right?
And it can just be a so-so opportunity, right?
Yeah,
and you can regret that too. So that just really stood out to me when you said that.
Yeah. Well, it's I think I look at it and I go, why do I procrastinate? There's so many different reasons, right? We talked about them, but we always say we do it tomorrow. And I have to ask myself, why am I so sure? Why are we so sure that we're going to do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because go back and look at what you're going to do tomorrow's. How many of you really checked off the box?
Yeah. Not very many.
Not very many, right?
Yeah.
I hear I'll do it tomorrow all the time from the kids. Yeah, I was going to do that, but I'll do it tomorrow. Well, I do it too.
Yeah.
You know, the wife will say, hey, did you get this or that done? It's like, no, but, right?
Yeah,
I did
no,
this,
but.
this, and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're trying to distract them. And she's like, yeah, but I really need this done for this thing. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
The reason we say we're going to do it tomorrow is it's called effective forecasting. Like we're putting off that pain of not accomplishing something.
Yeah.
Right. By saying the words out loud, I'll do it tomorrow. Right.
Yep.
And then that makes us feel better in the moment.
No kidding. It does.
But when it doesn't happen, right, there's another moment.
Yep.
Right. And so you have to really evaluate, look at your I'll do tomorrows, because my list is short, dude. I mean, honestly, it's better not to procrastinate and get it done, because if I procrastinate something, it's something worth not even doing at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the truth. So, but I end up still doing it just out of, courtesy, or I don't want to be, not the dependable guy that didn't get it done or whatever.
Yeah.
You end up doing it for all the wrong reasons, but there's a reason it got procrastinated, right?
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
And so for me, it's like, dude, if I'm going to put it off, I might as well not do it at all. So, that effective forecasting is not very effective, is what I'm saying.
No, it's not. And that whole justification, right? So automatically we know that putting something off till tomorrow is a bad deal, right? We know that inside ourselves. And so you create this justification so you don't have to feel bad about it, right? Which, you're going to do the same thing tomorrow, like you said. And then you get in the cycle, right? You get in this procrastination. You're stuck in the procrastination station. Yeah. We got to get out of there, kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so some of the things that help, because you'll see, on the whiteboard out here at the NECKROOTS Ranch Recording Studio, I put a list on a whiteboard and I start making checks by it. And the reason I do that is there's certain things that might be my wife's responsibility, and there's certain things that might be my responsibility. Well, there ain't no question when it's written down.
No.
And there ain't no question, like in elementary school, you got 3 checks, you're standing in the corner holding a 3x5 card up on the wall with your nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's what the third check means.
That's what it is.
Right? In a small town, that's how it works. And your freaking nose hurts, dude. You know what I mean?
You stood against the wall a lot, huh?
Well, I did. And so you know what I did? I just sat down. They're like, hey, you're going to get another 30 minutes. I said, I know. I'll just sit here, dude. 3 hours. I don't have to do no studying. I ain't got to do nothing. I just sit here.
There you go.
So they had to come up with a new rule. But my point is it's just those simple, stupid tasks of writing it down and checking the box. I think it helps us. You know what I mean? It does. Out of sight, out of mind. And so there's things that we've been going to do, and they're written down somewhere. But what good's writing it down if you don't know where it's at? Yeah. What good is taking notes if you don't know where your notes are at? Yep. And so we put it on the whiteboard just of kind of a plan of attack. And it's like, hey, I'm not saying this is your responsibility, honey, or this is my responsibility. I'm saying this is our responsibility. And so when each of us have time, we're going to power through this. Let's just make sure these responsibilities or these tasks are met by this date. Yeah. Right? Yep. And then we do our bestest and forget the restest, right? Yeah, no kidding. And then that's all you can do. But it does help. Yeah, right?
For sure. Writing it down.
Yep. Writing it down helps. That's one of the ways that I've noticed. It's a good way of communicating when you're working together.
Absolutely.
But for me, I like to write stuff down all the time.
Yeah, and that's definitely a way, Neck Nation, that we can overcome the procrastination too, right? Yeah. Just write the things down, the things that you don't want to do, right? Yeah. Just write them down. And first thing every day, do one of those things. Get it out of the way, right? Create good habits, write it down, put the check mark. You feel good. Yeah. Right? You feel good getting it done because that's one more thing you didn't want to do out of your way. Yeah. Right? So,
and when we do say I'll do it tomorrow, that's kicking the can down the road, right? Yeah. And you feel good because you just said out loud you'll do it tomorrow. But the truth is, when my kids say it, I say, hey, why do today what you could do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, if you remind them that tomorrow's here, it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to compound the problem, kick it down the road one more time?
Yeah, what are we going to do?
You know what I mean? I don't do it to be a prick. I just do it it's self-awareness, because I have to do it to myself. It's like, the one person you don't ever want to lie to, and we've talked about this, is yourself.
Yeah.
And when you say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow shows up, and you're like, frick, dude, I had a seeing problem and couldn't see myself doing it.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden, it affects you.
It does.
Right?
Yeah,
It'll take a toll on you. Yeah.
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 So.
Your self-confidence wavers a little bit, and you're like, frick, dude, I can't rely on me. What? You know what I mean? So I always, you can't run as fast or faster than you can actually.
Then you got legs,
dude. Then you got legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
No matter what. My appetite's always big. I'm just like, yep. And then, oh, freak, I got to eat that too. Yeah, you signed up for it, dude. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to take it home.
No kidding.
Right?
I'll eat it tomorrow.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, procrastinators unite.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll eat it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a joke about procrastinators, but I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Everything's tomorrow, man.
Yeah. Let's stop doing things tomorrow, NECKNATION. Let's get it done today. Yeah, don't put off till tomorrow what you could get done today.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. We've all heard it.
You know what? And rewarding yourself, since you just brought it up again, rewarding yourself for getting it done.
Oh, sure.
Bro, you got a little bit more time tomorrow. You can go throttle up the bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, go do something. Get yourself an ice cream cone or something. Like associate accomplishing these things with a reward. Yeah. Right? And then it becomes a good feeling. Yeah, right? It becomes a better feeling, because it's already a good feeling to get it done. But
attaboys go a long way.
They do.
Even a gold star on a chart.
There you go, man.
You know what I mean?
Rack them up.
Absolutely. So there's one thing that always helps me, and I don't know if we want. Yeah, we're going to do it right now.
Let's do it.
You got your phone? Keep your calculator out.
I got my phone.
Okay, so I'm going to do a hypothetical. For those listening, check this out. Watch this. This is fun. This will get your motor running, man. Let's get your mind thinking. So Austin and I, let's just pretend, Austin, we're going golfing, right?
Okay, sure.
That's our reward for getting her done.
Okay.
Okay, we got her done. We cleaned out the stalls. Everything's put away. Whatever. All right, trucks are clean. Tractors are waxed. Sun's not down. Let's go. Let's go play 18 holes.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So we grab our clubs. We motor over there, right? And on T1, right? But right before we tee off, we're just waiting for the guys to get out of our way. I go, hey, Austin, dude, let's make this fun, because golf ain't that much fun.
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
So let's make it fun. Let's bet.
Okay.
And you're like, how much money you got in your pocket or whatever? We have a conversation. You're like, frick, no, dude, I ain't betting. Right? You're going to hustle me or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, well, let's just make it interesting. We got to do something. So because we don't carry cash anymore, right?
Yeah, hardly anybody does. And Lord, if you do, good for you guys.
And Lord knows I don't even. I think Venmo's a fast car, right? So you can't even Venmo me. So so I say, okay, Austin, let's just for our Gee Whiz file, kicks and giggles, whatever. Let's make it fun and let's do 10 cents a hole. I mean, you can afford 10 cents a hole, right?
Everybody can afford 10 cents a hole, right?
Yeah, you're not tripping over 10 cents a hole.
No.
But just to make it interesting, let's do double or nothing. Okay?
Okay, sure. We're only starting at 10 cents.
It's 18 holes.
It's 18 holes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, in effort of time, let's fast forward. So, let's just say you lose all 18 holes. Okay? Just so we don't have to write who won what hole.
Who won what hole.
Okay? Make it simple. I won all 18. Okay. It's 10 cents, double or nothing. We shook on it.
Each hole.
We spit on the hand and we shook, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Your bond is your word, okay?
It is.
Okay, I won all 18 holes now. Let's do the math.
Okay, let me go to the calculator here.
Okay. So I want you to do 10 cents on the first hole, and I want you to...
We're going to times that by 2. So let's see. So on the second hole, you're at 20 cents, right? Right.
So and 20, 40, 60. I want you to go through and get us to the 9th hole.
Okay. $80.60, $3.20, $6.40, $12.80, $25.60, and then this should be the 9th hole. $51.02 is the bet on the 9th hole, right?
I think that's the 10th hole.
Is that the 10th hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
So but keep it. Stay there. So let's do the 10th hole, right?
Okay.
So you're on the 10th hole. So check this out. 10 holes, we're only doing 18, right?
We're only doing 18.
So at 10 holes, you're still only $50. I mean, that's still more than what you expected.
But I grew really quick, kid.
Yeah. It went from 10 cents to $50. Now we're cooking with gas, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And $50 is that's a bet.
That's a Venmo.
Dude, we're in the Venmo territory.
I got to talk to my wife now. My IOU will be here in a minute. But so let's take 10. So 10 is $50. That's alarming, surprising, but not, I mean, it ain't going to break you, right?
Yeah.
So now I want you to take us, let's do the next hole.
All right. All right. So
we're going to jump to
over $100. Dude.
Yeah. Okay, that's hole 11. Let's go to hole 12.
Hang on a sec here. I'm having trouble. Hang on. How do I go back? Right there. Okay. All right. 102.40. Right. And times 2. 204.80.
Okay.
Right. Where are we at 204.80?
So that's the 13. That's the 12th hole. Go to 13.
Hole. All right. Over $400. Dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So now at hole 13, think about this, guys. Hole 13 is getting interesting and exciting.
Yeah, dude. It's getting expensive. This is an expensive game of golf, dude.
Right? You had no idea at 10 cents a hole double or nothing. But now let's do the 14th hole.
They're going to be over $800, right? Yep. $819.
Okay. So that makes the next hole.
Yeah, $1,600, $1,638.
Yep. That's hole 15. So now let's do hole 16.
$32.76, almost $3,300 so far at hole 16.
Let's do hole 17.
$6,500, dude.
And hole 18?
And hole 18. This is the coup de grace, dude.
Yep.
Just under 13 grand. Right around 13 grand, dude.
Okay, does that blow you away?
That is insane. Double or nothing on 10 cents on 18 holes of golf, right around 13 grand.
Right.
At the end, if you win all the holes.
Right. So, in the beginning, when we're standing there on the fairway and you're like, no, dude, I don't want to bet.
Yeah.
I'm like, 10 cents a hole. Just throw a little common sense, little few pennies at it, 10 of them.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just make it interesting. Double or nothing? Okay. Right? Because that does.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting, the way this compounds so fast at double or nothing, it blows you away. But that's 18 holes. So now let's pretend that these holes are a year of our life.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Okay, so on hole 13, it got interesting. It was over $400, right?
Yeah.
And then from 13 to 18, it jumps 12 grand.
Yeah, it goes crazy.
In 5 holes.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? But think about it as years of our life. If we didn't start something or stop doing something or change a habit or, I mean, a year from now, you're going to wish you started a year ago.
Yeah. You are.
And with this example, you look at it and you go, whether it's procrastination, whether it's stopping some bad habit or starting something and learning something new or whatever it is, right? It could be kicking a bad habit out or it could be adding something new to you becoming, right? Whatever it is, you know what it is. And the thing is, there's no better time to do it than to do it now.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when you're building yourself and learning and growing through it.
Yeah.
Because it just makes you a better person tomorrow than we are today. And I think that's what our roots and everything we talk about is all about.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
And so when you look at it as years of life instead of those holes, think about when you get to that hole 13 where it gets interesting and exciting and you're about to Venmo me a big check, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
And so you have 12 years prior to that you have to go through before you get to year 13. You can't just jump to year 13. No. That means if you jump to hole 13 and we're starting there, it'd be 10 cents.
Be 10 cents.
So those 5 holes would be under $20, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not worth bragging about.
Nope.
But you see what happens as we compound and build and grow and learn and become.
Yeah.
Right? It starts to change who we are, but we got to go through. We got to start now because we don't know. Do we have 18 years left? Do we have 18? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know.
And that makes so much sense, kid, because our progression, sometimes we associate our progression with like a linear, like, oh, I'm growing, a steady pace like this. But the reality is it's closer to this compounding interest example that you gave here, which is our progression is really, it's exponential, right? As you learn more things, it compounds on top of the things that you've already learned, and then it becomes more powerful, right? It's not a linear progression, right? It is exponential. So you do miss out. If you procrastinate, making a change in your life, or, putting off something that'll make you better tomorrow than you are today, and you get down that road, you've missed that exponential growth. You are starting off at 10 cents on your 13 if you've put it off, right? Where you could be, at $400, $800.
Well, what if on the back nine, you're winning, right? You're playing a little bit better game than you ever played, and you're like, okay, dude, I'm ready to start. Yeah. Let's do that 10 cents, a whole double or nothing. Well, you go your next 8, you're still under $50.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Didn't work.
You don't realize how important the now is and taking action now. Yeah. So I think about this also as like people, you always talk to people and they got great ideas.
Yeah.
I wanted this, I wanted that, and I'm going to this and I'm going to that, right?
Yep.
When we have a great idea, in my mind, I have to automatically envision a nail sitting on my seat, right? Or a tack sitting on my seat. I'm like, dude, I got a great idea, Austin. I got to tell you about it, man. Sit down, boom, and get right back up because it poked me in the rear, right?
Yeah.
That's how we got to be, right?
That's how we got to be.
You don't get a great idea and sit down.
No.
You get a great idea and you take action.
Yeah.
Right? And so just have a proverbial tack on your seat, man. When you want to do something or you're going to do something, put that gonna tack right underneath your rear end.
The gonna tack.
Yeah, and watch you freaking spring like a cat.
Yeah, no kidding. Right? That's awesome, Kit. Well, I think this has been a good message today, right? And Neck Nation, we've all got to pull out of the procrastination station. Let's get out of there. Do whatever you got to do, right? Create a good habit if you're stuck in the bad habit of procrastination, right? Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Put the tack down, right? Yeah. Get yourself back up. But we'll leave you with that, Neck Nation. So if you've enjoyed the content, enjoyed the discussion we've had today, be sure to like and share this video. So the more people that see this, the more people we can help, right? That's the goal with this podcast, is just to help people become better tomorrow than they are today. We're also on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Got a few videos on TikTok. Maybe we'll put a few more on TikTok, but we'll leave you with that. And we got the website too, right?
Yeah. So, and you know what? If you're gonna click or subscribe, don't procrastinate. Dude.
No, don't put it off.
Hammer it.
Do it right now. Sit on that tack and hit that subscribe button right now.
Hit
the like button. Dude.
Exactly. Hit it with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, don't put that off. So, go check out the website www.neckroots.com. Check out we got some stories on there. Got some info on there. Obviously, you can buy some hats and shirts, but we'll leave you with that, Neck Nation, and bless up.
Bless up. We're out.